Self-improvement is meaningless without this one thing. You see, it's kind of a silly story, but when I started self-improvement, guess what the reason I did it for? Why did I do it? Because I wanted to get a girlfriend. That is the sole reason I started self-improvement, as I wanted to get a girlfriend. I started to lift weights because I wanted to look more attractive, because I didn't really like the idea of me being significantly skinnier than any girl that I would ever date, because I was insanely skinny. So I started lifting weights. I started to eat more. I started to pay attention to the foods I was eating, gaining weight, getting stronger. Then I learned about, confidence and presenting yourself properly to people. And I learned about meditating, because presence and being, focused and present is very important when you're speaking to people, including women. So I learned presence. I learned to meditate through that so I could be more present. And then I started to do self-improvement for myself. And I got a girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm not going to stop improving myself. I like this. My mental health has been better than it ever has before. And so I continue to improve myself. But something was missing. Something wasn't there. And it's going to sound kind of cringe or whatever, but that something was God. I was missing faith in my life. That was the secret ingredient to my self-improvement journey. It was faith, being connected and having a relationship with God and Jesus. No matter what you believe in, even if you're an atheist, you do in fact have a God. And you can say, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any God. How can I have a God? Whatever. Even if you believe in no higher power, you have a God. Because think about it, right? God, or a God, or whatever you believe in, right, is the highest thing there can be, right? Every object, every planet, every sun, every black hole is in some way lower than a God. Right? It's the highest thing that you have in your life. Whatever your God is, it's the highest thing in your life. So if you don't believe in God or any God, if you're an atheist, then what's the highest thing in your life? What's something material? It's something of this world, something you can see and touch, right? So what are these things or people that are the highest thing in your life, the thing that is above all else? Well, chances are it's not family. If it is family, great. Good for you. That is awesome, right? If the highest thing in your life is your family and the people you love, perfect. You will live a purposeful and fulfilling life. But if it's something other than that, if it's something other than the people around you that you actually care about, if it's what most people's God is, because guess what it is? It's rappers, it's YouTubers, it's TikTokers, it's artists, it's drugs, it's fame, it's celebrities. It's that boy band that no one listens to but you. That becomes your God. And so what happens when your God is something very obviously not the highest thing in the world? Like a rapper or a celebrity or an actress or an actor. Well, your life is going to be a reflection of that. Your life is going to be a reflection. You're not going to be fulfilled because you don't have something. You don't have your priorities right. I know this video is getting a little long, but let me tell you a story. My pastor did this in our church, and it was very influential in how I see things and how I live my life. He took a jar, and it shocked me that he did this during church, because it just came out of the blue, right? He just took 2 jars, big jars, like this big, right? 2 jars, put them on the altar, and asked this kid to come up, and he goes, and he says, put all this stuff in here, and he pointed to a pile of sand, what was a bag of sand, a bag of pebbles, and a bunch of pretty decent sized rocks. And he says, put them all in here, but do this in this specific order. First, I want you to put the sand in. Then I want you to put the pebbles in. Then I want you to put the stones in. And so, the kid did this. He's put the sand in, put the stones in, put the pebbles, all in the order that pastor said. And of course, you couldn't get him to fit, because even though it's a big jar, there's a lot of stuff. You got this much sand, this many pebbles, and then you got big rocks. You're not going to fit them all in there. He couldn't do it. So we tried, and pastor said, okay, that's enough. Go sit down. And he, then he looked at the other jar, and he took the stones, and he put them in first. Then he put the pebbles in. The pebbles, when he put them in, they slid into the cracks between the stones. And then he put the sand in, and the sand did the same thing the pebbles did. It slid in between the pebbles, filling all the gaps. And kept putting sand in until the jar was full. Every nook and cranny was filled with something, whether it be sand, rock, or pebble. The jar was completely full. And he said, this is your life. The stones are God and family and the things and people that actually matter. The pebbles are things that are very important, but not the necessity. Things like your home, your car, things you can live without. Your friends. And the sand was things that don't really matter, but they're good to have, Things like baseball or sports or movies or games or homework. Just stuff that, just happens in life. Stuff that a lot of people put first. Because when you put, homework first, you have the problem of not having time for a lot of other things. Now, of course, do your homework, right? But what I'm getting at here is self-improvement is really not that meaningful without faith. Because because what was missing, right? I did self-improvement to get a girlfriend, right? And so I filled my jar. But the problem is that I wasn't putting everything else first. I had a rock at the bottom. I had a couple rocks at the bottom. I had family, friend, people I care about, my girlfriend, those were my rocks, right? But one thing was missing, and that was the church and God. And so my jar was full of sand and rocks and pebbles. But there wasn't any room to just shove in this other big stone. But there was room. I just had to put it first at the bottom. If you got any value out of this rant, I hope you did. That's all I got for today. May God bless you and stay wild.